Just who is Mahindra? Unless you're a farmer or a world-class cricketer from Queensland, most Australian SUV buyers are likely not that familiar with the Indian company that's been making four-wheel drives and tractors since the middle of last century. That is, until now. Like ChatGPT and Bella Ramsey, Mahindra's profile is set to go supernova in 2023, first because of the new cut-price Toyota Prado chasing Scorpio 4x4, and now because of its follow-up, the XUV700. This one is the main event since it's targeting our favourite medium SUVs like the Toyota RAV4, Mazda CX-5 and Mitsubishi Outlander, and with 7 seats as standard to boot. I'm Byron Mathioudakis for CarsGuide.com.au, and I'm here to find out whether Australians should open their minds, as well as their wallets, to Mahindra. Let's go. Officially, this is the XUV700, as in James Bond 007, but in reverse. I've been calling it 700 here, but either way, it represents compelling value from around $40,000 drive away. Yes, that's about $13,000 more expensive than the XUV500, but as you'll soon discover, that's like comparing a Kia of today against one from 15 years ago. I'll touch on Mahindra's tech ascension a bit later on. For now, keep in mind that even the base AX7 buys you 7 seats in artificial leather trim, a power driver's seat with memory setting, dual high-definition screens, a panoramic sunroof, and advanced driver assist technologies like autonomous emergency braking, lane support systems, and adaptive cruise control. All are safety firsts for Mahindra. Stepping up to the AX7 Luxury brings even more safety tech, including a blind spot monitor and a 360-degree surround view camera, along with wireless charging, upgraded audio, and even continuous digital video recording. Stay tuned because Mahindra will release Australian market specifications in the coming weeks, including dealer network expansion, servicing, warranty, and crash test information. But so far, so good.
Righto. You know, with some older model Mahindras, they look like they were designed in the Stone Age, or maybe, you know, in the Renaissance Age. Well, the Mahindra XUV700 is a totally modern SUV in its design. I like this C-shaped LED motif for the front. It's got nice proportions. On this high series, you get these very Range Rover-esque electronic door handles, and over at the rear, these quite lovely LED pointy tail lights just give it a very contemporary look. This is not the Mahindra of old.
But good looks don't even scratch the surface as to why this may very well be Mahindra's Renaissance model worldwide. 3.5 years in development, the XUV700 is the first fruit of a profound change in philosophy. Out is the relentless cost-cutting, and in is the goal of class-leading excellence. Benchmarked against the Skoda Kodiaq and Hyundai Santa Fe, the monocoque SUV adopts new body welding and weight reduction construction techniques that Mahindra reckons substantially increases rigidity and strength for safety and driving dynamics, while dramatically decreasing noise and vibration paths. The difference between old and new is like comparing chalk and cheese. For instance, weight has dropped by 150 kilograms, the McPherson-style strut front and multi-link independent rear suspension has had more than 500 tuning iterations before being signed off, the stability and traction control systems have been tuned for nuanced intervention, and the steering is light enough for the emerging female buyer base in India, but progressive enough for the higher speed stability and control driving that it may receive elsewhere. Under the bonnet is a 150 kilowatt, 380 Newton metre, 2-litre, 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine, sending drive to the front wheels via a 6-speed torque converter automatic. Right now, it's the most powerful mid-size 7-seater SUV in Australia. Mahindra says it averages around 8.3 litres per 100 kilometres. Need all-wheel drive? You're out of luck, but an all-wheel drive diesel might arrive later on. For now, the XUV700 is two-wheel drive only. Still in the name of sophisticated engineering, aluminium suspension components with premium frequency selective dampers are fitted, along with 75 times the amount of sealant per car compared to its XUV500 predecessor. Plus, Mahindra built a world-class vehicle development and proving ground facility outside of Chennai that includes a high-speed circuit bowl, expansive on-road as well as 4x4 off-road torture testing, crash test safety engineering, and a coming electric vehicle development centre. We saw those for ourselves. Result? In its Indian home market, Mahindra is currently holding over 85,000 back orders for the XUV700, and it's rising. It's been a smash hit there since being launched during 2021. Even a quick peek inside might reveal why. In the vehicles we sampled in India, if you were sat blindfolded inside, first impressions might be Skoda meets Mercedes. Measuring in on the larger side of the medium SUV scale, there's plenty of space up front to stretch, on comfortable seats that prove their worth even after hours in nerve-wracking traffic. Likewise the climate control, which kept the atmosphere inside pleasant despite the blazing heat. There's plenty of storage as well. With its vast screen housing two 10.25-inch displays, the dash is bang up to date and easy on the eye to boot. The Mahindra offers a few digital instrumentation dial choices ahead of the driver, while the swipeable multimedia touchscreen over to the left seems to possess a clarity and logic that eludes many rival brands. Phone connection and audio streaming work seamlessly too. Note though that only the AX7 Luxury brings reach as well as tilt adjustment for the steering. Many hours split over several days were spent travelling in the middle row, and again the XUV700 destroyed any brand preconception of second-class travel, thanks to a well-padded cushion, reclinable backrests, effective ventilation and an isolated ride quality that lulled us to sleep on several occasions. Kudos too to Mahindra for engineering curbside third-row entry, aided by a simple single-press seat tumble mechanism for fast and easy access. Ford Everest, take note. And, as with the middle row, you'll find a charging outlet, air vents with fan control and cup holders. Further back, with all seats up, there's only space enough for small soft luggage or shopping bags.
So much for the sensible stuff. Things that I like about this car include this very Mercedes-Benz-esque layout, which includes a minimal screen, so you're not bombarded with digital information. I like these toggle switches, these piano-like buttons down here. They've got a real quality tactile sensation. And when you do this, and take this out the way, you've got all this space, which isn't always the case for medium-sized SUVs and great for family holidays. Plus, when you're back here, all it takes is one easy tilt of a lever for easy entry and egress, which is great for old road testers like me.
Righto. You know when you don't want to go to a party and you get dragged there by your partner and it ends up being one of the greatest nights of your life? Well, this isn't it. But I must say that my expectations about how this Mahindra drives was down here, and the reality is like up here. It's that profound. Let's start by talking about how well it drives. So this 149 kilowatt, 380 newton meter, 2 litre, 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine sounds just like the sort of engine you might find in a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW, let alone a Mitsubishi Outlander or Hyundai Tucson. It's punchy. It's tied to a responsive and very well calibrated 6-speed torque converter automatic transmission, and it drives the front wheels, so that's fine. That sounds like the spec for most medium-sized SUVs. The steering is the next surprise. I was expecting something that was vague and feel-free, but instead, this helm around here at the Mahindra Proving Ground, this helm, it's pretty light, but it's really well calibrated. It turns in with just the right amount of response, and the chassis is set up for it to be an enjoyable drive. I mean, that's a shock. It really is. But the biggest surprise is just how composed and contained the ride is. Now, I'm driving over the noisiest part of this test track, and this is as noisy as this car gets. That's just like the coarse bitumen that you find in Australian roads, because that's what proving grounds have. It feels really well sorted dynamically. That's what I mean. Before I was driving this car, I was thinking it was going to be a drag, and instead I had a fabulous time. I didn't want to stop driving it around here. It's that good. The point is, this car is really well sorted dynamically. It steers well, it rides well, and it's quiet. It just feels a million miles away from the last Mahindra I drove, which felt agricultural and slow and noisy and really just, not the sort of thing that you would even consider against a RAV4 or Outlander or Forester. It's such a revelation. About my only reservation I have is that I am thinking that away from this home ground advantage, the XUV700 might falter a bit. It all depends what the tyre package is, I guess, for Australia. It seems that it'll be an 18-inch setup, but I mean, you can hear it now. You can see it now. I'm driving this around a hairpin. I'm pulling away. The brakes are fine. It's just consistent and well modulated. Who would have thunk it? Maybe I'm a bit drunk from the fact that I'm in India and and that sort of thing, but it just seems that from nowhere, one of the better medium SUVs to drive and ride in is built by Mahindra. Go figure. It's great news.
Okay, so what do we make of the new XUV700? On first acquaintances here in India, this thing has blown my mind. It is so much better than I expected. I can't wait to drive it on Australian roads, which will be very soon, and I expect this to be as impressive over there as it has been right here. You can read my review at carsguide.com.au, and as always, thanks for watching.